Hello everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. I am High Lord Tamberlane, and this is Yacatecuhtli, the Quetzpal Father from Lost Kingdom's line of lizard men in the Quetzpal Empire. So this is the Quetzpal Father. I'm guessing that's a figurehead, the literal father, but whatever. He's going to be, oh yes, a big, large lizard man. 50mm base, and a big Scenic display piece that's going to sit on that 50mm base. I believe there's also 40mm squares available, maybe 50, I don't remember, but I don't like square bases, so I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see what kind of parts we have laying around in the bag. Can I get it out? One thing that bears repeating with these Lost Kingdom miniatures is they're really, really high detailed, and they are really, really labor intensive trying to get all of the flash and extra little casting gates and bits off. So just be aware of that. Got a big giant club. How big is that club? Well, it's big enough to hit a lizard man over the head with. So here you can see just the body alone is the size of a GW Saurus Warrior. That's not including all the other bits. So as I was saying about that labor-intensive part, you're going to have to do a lot of cleaning in between all the scales and claws, but the detail on the model itself is quite exceptional. You can see just the little glyphs all over it. Same thing, if I can get it in focus, on his weapon there, all the various skulls that adorn his belt, cords on there as well. Thankfully, all of his dorsal scales or scutes or whatever they're called are in one piece. I've had a couple of the models had some of their parts already snapped off and weren't even in the bag, so that wasn't fun. So where are we? I thought I had a leg. So the legs are kind of short. They're not as tall as, say, a GW Croxagore, but most of the models themselves are also kind of hunched over, so keep that in mind. As you can see, they're all bended at the knee. And here we have the head. And again, really impressive work going on with the ornamentation of the armor and the face. I mean, it's not bad, but again, like I said before, you're going to have to do a lot of cleaning on this. And I don't really mind the cleaning. It's when there's these tiny little, see those little round parts? Those are actual little extra casting gates. And all that stuff's going to have to be removed. And sometimes it's in the most delicate of places. So I'm going to grab a knife and some clippers and a file and wait for the dog to stop chasing his toys. And we're going to get to work putting this guy together. And here we have the finished Yacatecuhtli, if I am saying it correctly. He's a little bit smaller than I thought. He's got quite a big base. And one interesting thing about this Scenic base piece is you'll notice that there's all kinds of footprints. And it looks like you can actually, and I did try this out, there's two different positions that you can actually put him in. And I'm wondering if they reuse this base perhaps with the Quetzpal Mother as well. So let's get a little bit more close look here. You can see again, he's got really long gorilla-like arms, which is pretty similar to their standard Croxagore type model, so I guess they're all in the same family. He is not, however, as big as the Osprey. The Osprey, if I can just slide all these other guys over, is their really, really big model. And you can see this guy's got quite a height advantage, and yes, I didn't glue the head on all the way, but that's okay. You can see still that there is a big difference. Taking a standard lizardman and putting that on the base, I mean, there is a pretty significant difference in size there. I grabbed a couple others, so maybe if you wanted to use them as like a, what are they called, the Sun Wardens or something, or an Eternity Warden, perhaps. I don't know, 30mm base, but that's not going to work. You might be able to squeeze him onto a 40mm base. Is that one? It is. It's a Relic Knight one, but we'll see if that works. Yeah, so just as an idea, if you really wanted to try to get creative and use him on a smaller base, it might work if you wanted to have a little bit more presence. There is going to be a bit of overhang on both the tail and the arms, so keep that in mind. But overall, it's a pretty cool looking model. As I said, I was a little bummed out that he's not as tall as I was hoping. Then again, with the base, that can be circumvented a little bit. But in the end, he's still going to get dwarfed by the osprey. If we can get him put back together here. This guy is just massive, though. So there's that going for him. But in the end, still a very cool model. And, you know, I think you can probably get away with using him as something like an Old Blood or Scar Veteran or something if you wanted to get really creative, especially in terms of basing. If you wanted to put a smaller base and have him just overhanging it, perhaps that might work as well. I'll put a link down below for Lost Kingdom Miniatures website. They should be having these guys available in the very near future. And if you're into lizardmen at all in any way, shape, or form, it's definitely worth taking a look. I also did not put them on here, but some of Antimatter Games lizardmen as well. If you wanted, they've got a similar Aztec aesthetic going on there. Maybe not as much, but you get the idea. With that said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and maybe check out some of our other videos, and we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.